It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show where every day feels like game day, bro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Analyst Desk. It is myself. It's just me, myself, and I, Jacob Moore, the sports analyst, joined by Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo, hello, everybody.
Who looks like he needs a nappy poo.
No, I'm good.
Dan, you got to be awake. It's NHL playoff season.
I'm awake. Whoa, I'm excited.
The good thing is, Dan, I know you're feeling cold, but you have the hottest man in the podcast, Adam Alfredo.
Yes, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Game 1 simulation for the basketball, and you'll get clued in on why that is my name again today.
Also, Game 2 will be posted up this afternoon of that incredible series. But let's jump right into the comment section. Howdy from the white Canadian trash guy.
Hello.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh.
JP Power, always good to see you at the desk. And we got 3 hockey games to start off day 1 of the NHL playoffs, which is Ottawa versus the Hurricanes, the Wild versus the Stars, and last but certainly not least, the Flyers versus the Penguins. How's it going, Rick, from Hamilton Sports Central?
Let's go.
Indeed. Indubitably.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
So I don't know if you guys have been hearing some rumblings, but there was some rumblings as of last night that Anderson might be getting the start for Carolina.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that at all. He has more experience. He has more experience in the playoffs. And he has been outside of I think he gets a lot of stick for the Leafs losing in the series he was there. And then Carolina not getting to the finals, but let's read off his stat. The last 2 playoff runs, he has been 6-4 and 8-5, where he has been good, and he's had 262 the first year goals against average, and a 202 last year, a 906 last year, and an 895 the year before. He had 2 shutouts last year, but even in he's been there 3 years in Carolina. So 5-3 the first year, a 927 that first year. 936 his last year in Toronto, a 922 the year before. In all but 3 series, he's had a below 900 save percentage in his career in the playoffs. Freddie Anderson is good in maybe his teams haven't been able to get the job done. They haven't gone deep outside of one playoff run where they went 16 games in Anaheim, where they went nearly to the finals. Carolina's been to 2 straight Eastern Conference finals, but this team has been to 2 straight Eastern Conference finals backed by Frederik Andersen. And I think Freddie Andersen can provide that experience in these moments. Bussy is not. And, if Freddie's struggling, you bring Bussy in. And it's but you maybe you just trust the guy who's been to these moments before. And you trust that he could get the job done. And if he can't, you take him out and you put Bussy in. But you got to give it a try at least.
Yeah, I got to agree. Because I get Bussy has been kind of their guy this year. But I think that I'd be more confident if I was a Carolina fan with Frederik Andersen, just because of the experience, the stability. And Adam, as you've been pointing out, he's been good for them in the past. But JP Power getting the bracket in, very nice. You have the Oilers going all the way.
Ooh, interesting.
You know what? The Oilers do have a pretty good shot just because of, especially of the division they're in. They might not face really tough competition until the conference final. But let's take a look at some of the lines from the first game today. Yes, I believe we're up to 13 people who've submitted their brackets. Nick agrees with you, Adam.
Cool.
Nice. I'm glad.
I agree with Adam, too, with the goaltending situation in Carolina. I think that totally makes sense.
Bussy's been phenomenal, though, this year. Nothing against Bussy, but
sure.
He's struggled since the break. He's picked it back up lately, but so has Freddie Andersen. Freddie's had his struggles this year. But I think if Carolina is going to win this series, they need to be defensively sound like they usually are. This is a very good, despite what it's kind of been at times this year, they have a 288 goals against average, which, mind you, is less than what the Ottawa Senators, who are a very good defensive team, like a 2 goals against average to a 288. And Carolina's got a better offense in terms of just the numbers. Carolina's just got to stick with not taking a lot of penalties. They don't take a lot of penalties. They've only had 640 penalty minutes this year. Ottawa's got to stay out of the box. 790. They have over 100. It's 150 more penalty minutes. Like, you got to stay out. You can't do that. Both teams have great power plays. Carolina just has 0.9% better power play, but
really that close. Wow.
And like Carolina doesn't give up very many power play goals. They have less than the Sens, actually. They have 12 less than the Sens have given up this year. And a good thing for Carolina, 80% penalty kill. And they score, both teams score a lot of shorties. There's Carolina scored 12 to Ottawa's 8. And they don't give up shorthanded goals either. Neither team has given one up this year. So I think it will be interesting to see that battle, the power play, the man advantage battle there, power play and penalty kill. It'll be interesting to see how that goes this year.
Also, just for anyone who hasn't yet, we do have our very own NHL bracket challenge. So if you follow the link here in the comments and the password, or head over to our socials and it's posted there, join our bracket challenge. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we're not sure what the prize is going to be for the winner. I'm thinking it's a tour of Adam's basement because we all talk about it so much. But
yeah, if you want to travel to where I live.
There. Well, Adam, they don't need to know where you live to see your basement. But let's take a look at the Carolina Hurricanes lineup going into the playoffs. And what you have to remember about Carolina's lineup is I don't think guys like Aho, Shineskov, Jarvis get enough credit for how good they actually are. This is a really good team. Logan Stakeoven and Taylor Hall have fit in really nicely.
They have, yeah.
I love Logan Stakeoven. He's so good.
It's interesting.
And Nikolai Ehlers is a third-line player on this team. And it's like,
and that's what I want to bring up, especially to Dan, because Dan, you've been singing Nikolai Ehlers' praise over the last few months. Are you surprised he's a third line, or is this just showing how much depth this team has?
Yeah, I think we're going for a more balanced lineup versus an all-star lineup. I think that's a mistake.
How's it going, Anthony? Why is it a mistake, Dan?
Because Carolina's done balanced lineup for the past, gazillion years, and we never make it past the third round. Try something different.
But
stacking it up is also not a good thing.
2 rounds, though.
But stacking it up is also not always a good thing when you think about it. And if this is working, look at Carolina's record. They're the best team in the East this year. There's a reason they're the best team in the East.
Also, easiest.
There's a reason they're the best.
Thank you very much.
There's a reason they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, and it's because they have a balanced lineup. They score throughout the lineup, and they have whether the numbers say it or not, they do have relatively good. They play good defense, and if their goaltending can stand up to what it's been in the past in the playoffs, this is going to be that Carolina showed they're a tough team to beat, and I think they're going to continue to be a tough team to beat. This is a very.
I'd love to address this.
Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, and Andrei Sheshnikov is a disgusting top line.
It is so much speed.
Disgusting. So good.
And interesting, Anthony, about your comment here. I mean, it's tough to say they're a regular season team when they get to the third round every year, right? Like, that's the third round is not an easy task. I mean, I get they've had a bit of an easier road compared to going through the Atlantic, but at the end of the day, I mean, fans just need to stop crying because they're in a tough division. Teams find a way to win tough divisions, right?
I had to agree with Anthony. Maybe it sounds harsh, but I agree with him. I think it's a regular season team. You have no tough guys on this team, and they make it to the third round because they got the easiest way to get there.
But Dan,
that's like saying Edmonton's Cup. That's like saying Edmonton's Cup runs don't matter because they're in the Pacific.
Well, yeah,
tough guys is redundant. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come out and say it. Like, having what you call tough guys, like all of these guys are tough. Like, it's not like Sebastian Aho is not like a crybaby. out there.
No,
on
I
the
get
ice.
that.
He's a tough guy. There's a reason this team is as good. Dan, they may not have your like tough guys, like your tough guys of the past, but like Jordan Staal is not a crybaby.
No,
Carrier's not a crybaby. Mark Janikowski is not a crybaby. And Eric Robinson, Jordan Martuk, not a crybaby. It's like none of those guys are relatively like not tough. Like they're gonna be tough to play against. Carolina, mind you, gives up less shots than Ottawa does. They give up when you give up 20 plus, just over 20 shots a game. Like you don't need amazing goaltending. Like you don't need godlike goaltending when you suffocate opponents and don't give up a lot of shots. Because Carolina blocks a lot of shots, and they've done it consistently. That's why they go as deep as they go. It doesn't matter what division you're in. It doesn't matter what side of the bracket you're in. You're playing tough opponents. It's the reason they're in the playoffs. And, Carolina makes it tough to play against them. Florida's just been better than them. It doesn't help when they're running into the best hockey, the team that's been the best in the league for 2 straight years. But that doesn't help, and a team that's so suffocating.
But when we look here at the Ottawa lineup, funny enough, I actually see some similarities between the Ottawa lineup and the Carolina lineup. It's a very balanced lineup when like Brady Tkachuk's on your second line, Shane Pinto's your third line center, Warren Foegele, who's since coming on to the Ottawa Senators, has really been able to make a difference. And I think you have two teams that have a really balanced lineup. I would say maybe Ottawa is a little more physical, but I would say Carolina's a little faster with guys like Shestnikov and Aho. But then you also have guys like Timmy Stützle, who I think is probably the most underrated player in the NHL. I think Tim Stützle is incredible. And Dylan Cousins has been such a nice fit. Both Cousins have been great for this team.
Amazing.
And
amazing.
But let's get to
really, Greg is a very underrated player as well.
I
think Greg is pretty underrated. He's a great player. Shane Pinto had a red hot start, but hasn't been amazing all season.
So
wasn't consistently as great as he was to start this year.
He's projecting an Oilers Tampa Bay Lightning Stanley Cup final. So that's very, very plausible.
Cool.
That Canadian white trash guy is saying, I'm betting Gunas takes a knee out. Let's see how Edmonton reacts, and let's hope it's not McDavid. I mean, look, we do know. I mean, if the NHL is not going to punish you that severely for doing it, players are going to keep doing it, right?
So, for sure they are.
But it's just interesting looking at the lineups between those two teams' forward groups. Let's get to some more comments here. Anthony talking about Carolina again. I'm going to use Edmonton as a perfect example. I feel that once they got to Florida the last 2 years, because teams in the West don't really consistently put pressure through the middle, I would say it's truthfully, in my opinion, and I have the unpopular opinion, I think the difference for Edmonton, Florida towards those finals has just been Bobrovsky versus Skinner. I thought a lot of their lineups counted. And also, too, Florida had more depth, not just pressure, but like if Edmonton, if you can shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, you've shut down 60% of their offense at least.
Right, exactly.
And with Florida, they get scoring from all 4 lines. They roll 4 lines. And I think Paul Maurice is just a better coach. I think that's something people are forgetting about.
For sure.
The thing with Carolina is also they haven't really faced a lot of adversity in the, like, even last year, like they swept aside Washington, I think it was in the second round, dominated the first round. Like, it's not like Carolina has been better than everybody else they've played outside of Florida. They have been better than everybody else. Like, I don't think it's like, and I understand what people are coming from saying, well, like, yeah, like Carolina has struggled and they haven't been very good, but it's also like, you got to remember they were dominated by what was the most dominant team in hockey. And it's like that team suffocated everybody. Florida suffocated every opponent they played. It wasn't just Carolina. Like that team is a very hard team to play. Like, I don't think it's fair to just say that's going to be a big reason why. It's because they can't beat Florida, can't beat the pressure Florida builds. Well, Ottawa's not Florida. Like, and it's, I think personally, it's going to be a 7-game series. I predicted it to go 7. So I don't think it's going to be easy for either team. But I also think like Carolina's not going to be like a team that's going to make it easy for Ottawa. Ottawa's not going to make it easy for Carolina, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me that people are very underrating Carolina, I think.
I do agree with you. I think Carolina's been extremely underrated. And yeah, I did hear about Gunas texting Matthews. I mean, I think instead of a text, no offense, just don't blow a guy's knee out and end his season. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I personally, if someone injured me like that and then they texted me, I think I'd say some words that I can't say at the analyst desk.
Yeah.
So, but let's get to some more comments, then we can move on to another series. And for me, it frustrates me the last 2 years in the playoffs is Edmonton cheap shot at Alex. No disrespect, Anthony, and I don't mean this to be a jerk, but I'm going to say it. Florida fans can't whine about teams taking cheap shots at their top players. Florida does it constantly. They are arguably one of the dirtiest teams in the NHL. And I get that's how in the playoffs, that's how you got to play. You got to be, as Anthony Stolarz put it, dirty little bastards. His words.
But you can't, you got to toe the line.
So all I'm saying is
if you're better.
And this is no disrespect, Anthony, and I get where you're coming from to a point, but Brady Tkachuk is also slashing Matthew Tkachuk taking dirty slashes all day. Sam Bennett running headshots all day. I just think if you're Florida, you can't complain about that when that's your style, right? Like, it's one of those things, but I do get where you're coming from. Edmonton fans do get very angry about it. And then you're saying here, once Bennett took a cheap shot on Leon, the Almaki want to suspend him for the rest of the series. Number one, though, you're saying cheap shots both times. Plus, he took Anthony Stolarz out earlier in the playoffs, right? I love Sam Bennett, but he is a player that walks right on that line. And I'm not necessarily saying Sam Bennett's a dirty player, but he does play dirty at times. What's your thoughts on that, Dan?
I agree with you, Jacob. Like, for any day, Florida won the cup, right? And I think sometimes it's just the way you gotta play in order to win. I think Gunas tried texting Matthews just to try to look good. I don't think it was sincere. Now, I could be wrong. I didn't see the text, but
maybe that's the text right now. I heard someone's phone. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Keys predicting Carolina and Ottawa in 6. And okay, from Anthony, no, but I'm saying I'm frustrated they don't treat Alex like he's not a superstar. I mean, that's fair enough. Personally, I don't like that. I don't like special treatment, whether you're the best player in the league or the worst player in the league. I think if it's a dirty play, it's a suspension.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But I do agree that
it's not even that. It's that your team consistently has made dirty plays. And when Florida Panthers fans, not all Panthers fans, but when Panthers fans complain about somebody else doing it to you guys, it goes in one ear, out the other, because people just don't care. Because when you guys do it, you guys act like it wasn't a dirty play. It wasn't intentional. But it's like when you consistently do it, it doesn't make you look good as a player. I think Sam Bennett is a phenomenal player. If he stopped doing like towing the line and then crossing the line multiple times, I think his perception and maybe Florida's perception would be better. But I think the problem is that Florida has had those consistently bad plays, and it doesn't help people be more sympathetic towards Panthers players.
I want to say
more so it.
I want to say sorry, everyone. I'm just not feeling 100% at the moment, so I will be back on. But go hockey, go!
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us, Dan.
Feel better.
We will see you.
Thank you. Do I just sign out?
Yes, just exit, Dan. You're good.
Just exit.
Oh, poor Dan. But no, I do get. I think I understand where people are coming from both sides on this. And Anthony's saying the Panthers are more old school mentality team league right now and how they struggled. Yeah. You know what, Anthony? I do get where you're coming from. I even get where you're coming from on Barkov not being treated like the star he is. All I'm getting at, and then I want to move on, is that I just think when a team, it's like if Tom Wilson complains if he gets hit and from behind. It's like, well, you do it all the time. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where, or it's like when the Kachucks are complaining about someone chirping them. It's like, well, you're the biggest chirps
you do it all the time
in the NHL. Or when Sean Avery talked about people not having class, it's like, you literally have no class, Sean Avery. Right. So like, and I'm not saying Florida is necessarily the dirtiest team I've ever watched. They're not. But in today's era, they certainly are more like that than other teams. But I want to move on to the Minnesota Wild versus Dallas Stars. That's the second game.
That's going to be an interesting series. Well, did you see Wallsted's going to be starting tonight? It's not going to be
which that surprised
Wallsted, which is interesting. But I want to point out that tonight it's going to be an interesting game because I'm pretty sure both of these players are going to play tonight. I'm not sure though, because it doesn't say yet, but Quinn Hughes and Miro Heiskanen are both day-to-day with injuries. They're expected to be back tonight, but they are both, like, Roope Hintz is out tonight. Roope Hintz won't be playing tonight, which it's a big loss for Dallas, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Jake Ottinger versus Wallstedt. Wallsted's never started in the playoffs before, if I'm not mistaken. And then you got Jake Ottinger, who has more experience. Ottinger, what?
He's a rookie.
Wallsted's never played a playoff game. Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, he's never played a playoff game. Jake Ottinger has more experience in that. Whether that Dallas defense could play a lot better in front of Jake Ottinger this year and give themselves more of a chance will be interesting to see. Jake Ottinger struggled for parts of this season, especially early, but has really pulled it back up. And it's going to be it's not been a great game so far for the Raptors. And that's
only game one.
It's not been great. Raptors are 5-16 in game ones all time. Like, it's not good at all. But, like, you got Jason Robertson, who has over 45 goals and is 15 power play strikes. You got, oh my gosh, am I going to actually forget his name right now? Wyatt Johnston. Sorry, he has 26 power play goals. 26. And he has over 30. I think he has close to 40. Maybe he has over 40. I don't remember exactly. But he's been elite this year. Mikko Rantanen has been an animal. 28 power play assists of his 55 that he has. That's great. Like, this team, like, this Dallas team is very good. This Minnesota team is no scrub either. Kirill Kaprizov, nearly 90 points this year. He had 19 power play goals. Quinn Hughes has been phenomenal since he made the move over. Both of these teams are very elite. And I predicted Dallas to go up, but I could very much see Minnesota winning this series. But I think Dallas are just a step better. But if Minnesota could shut down that Dallas power play, this could be a struggle a little bit for Dallas. If Minnesota could shut down that power play, things are going to be a lot easier for them.
I know. For me,
Dallas power play is
For me, there's something about this Minnesota team. I don't know why. Something is telling me this Minnesota team is going to really surprise people. And they're going to take down Dallas, in my opinion, relatively easily. And I get Dallas has a really stacked lineup, but I just look at the speed this Minnesota team has. When you got Tarasenko on the third line, who I think is going to dominate, and you're able to spread out Kaprizov and Boldy on two separate lines. You have the Foligno brothers playing together on the same line. I just really like this group. And I mean, Quinn Hughes, I've argued Quinn Hughes is one of the very few defensemen you can put in that Cale Makar level of just wow. And Quinn Hughes is a real difference maker. Now, don't get me wrong. When you look at the Dallas Stars lineup, you could say very similar things. Dallas has got so much depth. You look at the depth Dallas
I've said it before. Well, I've even said it before, Jacob. I have issues with the Dallas lineup, and I don't think they necessarily address the issues that I do have with the team. And that being, I don't think their depth in scoring, unless I could be proven wrong. I have no, I think that Dallas team is Minnesota is very good. I think Minnesota could win the series. Like, I won't say I don't think Minnesota can win it. I just think Dallas are just a little bit better. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota wins it, because Minnesota is just as good as Dallas is. But like, Roope Hintz missing to start this series is a big miss. And this lineup looks a lot different with Roope Hintz in it. And I just think if the depth scoring from Minnesota doesn't come through, and that means not even outside the top two lines, if they don't get scoring from the bottom two lines, Minnesota could have a tough time keeping up with Dallas. Whether that, I could be proven wrong, of course, and Minnesota could do perfectly fine in a track meet. But I think it could come down to goaltending, and I don't know which goalie I would have full trust in. Jake Ottinger's had his struggles in the playoffs, but I do think it is going to be a very interesting series. And I do think Minnesota, a big thing for Minnesota would be depth scoring. They need it. I don't think they necessarily addressed it. It's great being able to have Boldy and Kaprizov separated, but at least for me, I get Quinn Hughes, great trade, amazing trade. I understand why they made the trade, but I don't think that was the trade they needed to make this year. That's
I do think that is a fair statement.
I didn't think it was necessarily.
Because I always talk about, well, Quinn Hughes was the best player available. But as you pointed out, Minnesota probably needed depth scoring more than they needed to add to the defense. Because they also traded some really good players to get Quinn Hughes. But we have another comment here. Outside of Colorado series, I think most of the West will go 7. Yeah, it's a lot of really tight series in the West. For me, I don't know what it is. I just don't trust Edmonton outside of Leon and Connor. If you get those two guys down, who else? I mean, the only thing I will say is Zach Hyman was on pace for another 50-goal season if he played all the games this year. I mean, and you also have Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and this is going to sound crazy, but you also have Evan Bouchard, who, when he is playing well, can look like the best player on the ice when Connor McDavid is on the ice. I'm not saying he's better than Connor McDavid consistently.
You need more than 4 players.
100%.
Scoring to win you the series. That would be the issue.
I think the Oilers got worse this year than last year.
They've got worse every year.
Let's start to take a look at our final series of the day. Well, game 1, sorry, which is Pittsburgh versus
This is going to be fun.
And you know what I'm excited to see, Adam? I love seeing Sidney Crosby in a playoff lineup again. This just makes me happy.
Yeah.
The world is right. And
that's a good team. This is a
really solid team. Did you know Connor Dewar had I think 15 or 16 goals this year?
Yeah, he's been phenomenal.
On your fourth line. This Anthony Manthas looked great. Tommy Novak's had a really nice year.
I think
really
Mantha
young player no one really talks about
year.
just because of Schaefer and Demidov.
I think Mantha scored like 30 goals this year. Like this team has been
this Pittsburgh team is very, very stacked. I think the biggest question mark for Pittsburgh is which Stuart Skinner do you get?
Yeah, that's true.
Because Stuart Skinner in the playoffs in front of him has been super inconsistent. He either is amazing or he's terrible. Now, mind you, I would argue I think Pittsburgh is better defensively than Edmonton, like their structure.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll come to their advantage.
I mean, like Pittsburgh's built to be a track meet team that is built to score goals and is built to beat teams that way. But I do think if they can play defensively sound, I think this will be interesting because Velarde, I don't think has played very much in the playoffs in his carear.
I don't think he's
neither has
Shilov's in his career.
So I do think this will make things interesting. I do think this is going to be, at least I predicted, I think this is going to be the most like bad blood. There's always bad blood when these two teams meet. Crosby has documented history of dominating the Philadelphia Flyers in the playoffs. These two teams do not like each other very much. I think this will be a crazy good series. I cannot wait. And yeah, like Pittsburgh, like Kindell has been great for them depth wise. Like this Philly team.
Issue in Adam's end. I did not kick Adam out, I swear, but that's okay. I will continue to talk here, and let's talk about the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, the Philadelphia Flyers lineup for me is very interesting, and I guess Adam didn't want to hear my take on the Philadelphia Flyers, but Adam is back, so he's going to hear it. Adam, welcome back.
No, I did want to hear it. I accidentally hit the wrong button on,
That's how excited
I was in the wrong thing.
But I think this Philadelphia lineup is very underrated.
Oh, this is a good
Porter
team.
Martone, if he continues to play the way he's been playing, I think he's going to be electric. Trevor Zegras has looked really good. Owen Tippett's a good player. Konechny's good. Christian Dvorak looks like the Dvorak from 5 years ago. Mitchkov's had a nice year. Sean Couturier with the leadership. That fourth line's actually pretty solid. This is the lineup that I don't
see how Mitchkov plays.
I'm curious too.
Barkey, Porter Martone as well. Like I can't wait to see these guys play the
good.
playoffs,
like I don't think people quite realize how much talent is actually on this Philadelphia Flyers lineup.
Yeah, this is a very good. This is a very
Philly
good
gets
team.
underrated in these playoffs, Jacob. And you know what? I think it's just no one thought Philly was going to make the playoffs, Anthony.
Yeah.
And because including myself, I thought this was the Islanders' spot for the taking, and the Islanders found a way to lose it. But then you start to look. I think they needed one more top six forward to be a competitor, and then Porter Martone finished his schooling, and now they're a competitor, right?
Porter
I think
Martone's unreal.
He's electric.
Yeah,
he's big, he's strong, he's fast, got a hell of a shot, and
Yeah.
Now being able to move Mitchkov down to the third line, you have a balance. You have 4 lines that can potentially provide offense for the Philadelphia Flyers. This will not be
Mitchkov, Cates, Barkey. That's disgusting third line. That is a crazy talented third line.
Key. I'm excited for this one too. I'm sad I'm going to miss this first Ottawa game, but the Pens game is the second game of the day for sure. Ottawa being easily the game of the day, but that is of Penn.
I think it's Dallas. Dallas, Minnesota is the game of the day. That's going to be.
To be honest, I actually think all 3 games to start the playoffs. I think we have 3 really good hockey games to start.
They're all great games. Yeah, I agree. But like, I think one game. I think the game that could potentially steal the day is this Philly-Pittsburgh game. Like, I really do think this game could steal the day. But I do think if I just looking on paper, I think Minnesota and Dallas, if it's as tight as I think it's going to be, that's going to be the best game of the day. That's going to be a phenomenal game, a phenomenal series.
And actually,
Carolina and Ottawa, I want to see how it goes tonight.
Anthony, I don't mind your comparison to the Flyers today to the Panthers a couple years ago. The only thing I would say is I don't think Vladar is your Bobrovsky, although Dan Vladar has looked very good for the Flyers this year. Talk about a sneaky good pickup.
Florida was very injured. Injured heading into the finals 3 years ago. Like, I think that's
managed to get to the finals, which was crazy.
Like, I like the comparison, but once they got to the finals, they were dead. That team was like, it was just not the same team that we had saw in the first 3 rounds. It was not as, by the end of that series, like in game 5, whatever it was, like that team was didn't even look the same to what I think people expected them to look like by that time. And I think the difference between the two is that Vegas were just that much better than the Panthers this year. And I think Philly and Pittsburgh are actually a very comparable teams. Despite Pittsburgh having a very good offense, I think both teams have good offense. I think Philly and Pittsburgh, no team is excellent defensively. So I think this series may turn into a track meet. Like, this may turn into a track meet. It'll be about which offense could get scoring from all 4 lines and how good they could be in front of the goaltender. At the end of the day, which goalie can make the last save
and I think
they need to make.
When you mentioned the goaltending too, Adam, I think people may underevaluate Stuart Skinner's playoff experience. He has been to the Stanley Cup Finals twice. And one thing I will give Stuart Skinner a lot of credit for, he can have a really bad period and then come out there and make a big save when you need it. Like, I'm not saying that Stuart Skinner is a phenomenal goaltender, but it's kind of the Grant Fuhr effect. And again, I'm not comparing him to Grant Fuhr in a sense that he's as good as Grant Fuhr, but in a sense where Stuart Skinner lets in 5 but doesn't let in the 6th. And for this series, that might be what you need. Vladar, we don't know what he'll be like in the playoffs because we've never seen it. The only reason why Calgary didn't keep him is because they had so much confidence in Wolf and Cooley, which, by the way, Logan Cooley will be representing Team USA at the World Hockey Championship.
Ooh.
So that's interesting. And, of course, we'll have coverage of the World Hockey Championship as well right here at the desk.
Yes,
because we do a lot of coverage for a lot of different things. I believe the Blue Jays play today as well. Don't they, Adam? Or is that tomorrow?
I think so. We're gonna be very busy this summer at the desk. We got the World Cup, we got the World Hockey Championships, we got the playoffs, we got the CFL. You're gonna see a lot of us here at the desk. I think they do. I think they play at like 8:00 tonight.
Yeah, they play at 8:10,
and then they play in the afternoon. They play in the afternoon tomorrow, I think it is.
They play at 8:10 today versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. And
I think they play
I'm going to say it. I think the Jays, you know what, you're almost starting to get to games that you absolutely have to win. I know we're not here to talk Blue Jays, but I did want to mention that. What's the score on the Raptors
White
now,
trash guys, no, that game is basically done. Like, it's like 16-point Cleveland lead. Cleveland are playing very well. This was
too bad. The first half it looked pretty even. The Raptors were just starting at the free throw line.
I just think this Cleveland team is just like Canadian White Trash got beef with European players. Like, I don't get the beef. I don't get the beef at all. But you know what? Like,
and
Florida
some European players are pretty tough.
Too.
Like, I mean, Sasha Barkov is not.
Florida has European players. Like, it's the same thing. Like,
Jays just look low energy. I think the Jays are just so beat up right now
Yeah,
interesting. Did you hear Eric Lawler's comment about coming in not starting the first? He said he hope it doesn't happen again, but that's above his pay grade.
I saw
he was
that.
not happy. I mean, he pitched 5 innings and pitched really well, so I think that's good to say. But I don't know. Vladdy, guys, I gotta say, I don't know. I don't like how he doesn't hustle when he hits the ground. I mean, he's not a fast runner. He's not. He's not
all players hustle, but not everybody.
And he's just not going to outrun those plays. I like Vladdy. I personally think Vladdy Guerrero Jr. has been able to, in my opinion, for what he did last year, prove that he can do it. And I actually don't think he's having that bad of a start this year. The biggest issue for Jays is injuries. I know Dalton Varsho got hurt last game. Guerrero potentially was hurt. It's just not as the good thing is Savage is almost looking like he's going to be back very soon. So, and at least to my prediction, they lost the game, but as Corbin's last start, he looked very good. So I do think the Jays pitching is starting to come around. Dalton finally did something against the Brewers, but then he got hurt. So let's see I'm not sure how long he's out for. And it's been getting frustrating and burnouts. I don't know. Not my favorite leader. That's fair. I mean, again, I still think Vladdy, I've seen him make some phenomenal plays this year. I guess I won't have the same criticism for Vladdy I will for some other Toronto leaders, because at the end of the day, the Blue Jays have gone on a deep run, right? Like they've made it all the way to the World Series. I've never seen a Marchand style player from Europe.
There have been some like
Nick I don't know. There's some pretty
tough guy.
There's some tough European players. I just can't think off the top of my head. But I mean, I would argue again, Sasha Barkov.
Why would you want to see but Marchand is just a different. Like I think it's more so, and I will say this because I think there's something like in Canada and the United States, especially Canada. Especially when guys like Marchand were growing up. Like, I think the thing that defined hockey for a long time, and a reason Canada dominated hockey for a while before Russia, Russia started competing, was that they played hard and they played a style. They played a very physically heavy style, and they played a dirty style of hockey. And they weren't well liked. Canadians weren't well liked in the hockey world. And I don't think a lot of them that might still be the same kind of thing. And that's why you see heavy whistles on Team Canada sometimes at the Worlds, is because of the reputation that Canada does hold in world hockey at times. And I think the thing with like the Europeans, like especially when they started coming in, and that's why you won't see a lot of hard, like tough Europeans that you like tough. Like the old tough way, I guess, is that they came in with a very different style and they grew up with a very different style of hockey. That's why when Russia came in, they just shocked everybody because they played a tough style, but also a very skilled style that nobody had seen before. And it's why Russia dominated hockey for like nearly 3 decades. It's because they just shocked everybody with their style of hockey. And I will say, like, I don't think Marchand is a player that I think a lot of Europeans want to become, because it's just he's a certain, like, he has been a very dirty player in the past, and he's done some very unlikable things.
Great player,
but Brad Marchand is not. But like Nick Lidstrom, tough guy. He is from Sweden. Like,
or you can even think European of like Zdeno Chara, even to guys like today.
Slovak,
there's Zadorov.
Kopitar.
Zadorov, he's a tough SOB. Gunas, Rasmus Anderson. Like, these are all like really.
I don't even remember what Gudas is. Gudas Slovakian too.
Checha.
He's Czechia. Okay, he's Czechia as well. Okay.
But we got to get some more comments before we're going to sign off, because we want to watch these hockey games today so we can do awesome post-game shows. Jacob and Adam. My previous comparison with Philly to Panthers, who Las Vegas, Ron, was more the Panthers who got eliminated in the first round after winning the President's Trophy. Okay.
I can see it.
I can kind of see it. As much as I picked Ottawa to beat Carolina, that wasn't because of my disrespect to Carolina. You guys have been here long enough to know I predicted over 2 months ago that the Ottawa Senators, when they started were going to find a way to make the playoffs. I think this Ottawa team is much better than where they are. I think if you're Carolina, you're actually almost frustrated. I think you would have rather played Boston than Ottawa. I think Ottawa's that good, personally.
Ottawa to be a tough
team. On a run, and Vladdy's been producing this year. He has been. I mean,
I
get why Jays fans are frustrated. I'll be curious to see how cheap the tickets are if they continue to lose on this road trip. Since Sid and McDavid came into the league, Canada has been very skill heavy. They don't really develop two-way guys. Well, I mean, I would argue though Sidney Crosby is a two-way player.
Yeah. He's he's not great.
He's one of the
Not
best.
phenomenal, but he is very good two-way wise. Like Brad Marchand's good two-way. Patrice Bergeron was good two-way. Oh my gosh, he was the epitome of the two-way center for a decade. Like Patrice Bergeron was the guy. Like Barkov is the best two-way center in the game. Patrice Bergeron for like nearly a decade was the best two-way center in the game.
And it wasn't close.
It wasn't close. It wasn't like Celebrini's good two ways, you could say.
You see the Sharks coach was literally crying talking about Celebrini, just about how good of a player human.
Oh, Konechny is as well. Konechny, Kopitar, but Kopitar's not Canadian.
Phenomenal two-way.
But Konechny, I think Sean Couturier is Canadian as well. Like those guys, like they're all very good two-way, and they're all Canadian. Like it's difficult, like because when players don't want to play, like a lot of young players don't want to develop the two-way because they'd rather be the guy that scores goals. But that way, like I think a lot of these guys have developed a better two-way game. Like Connor Bedard started to get better defensively, and he's played. This is his third season in the NHL. Like it takes time, but that I do get so what you're saying. By this comparison to you,
I kind of get so what you're saying, Canadian white trash guy. I mean, statistically, it used to be European players were known for playing soft unless you were from Finland, because Finland doesn't develop soft players. But I do think that narrative has changed. This is why I disagree with you. Oh, okay, you can disagree with me. That's okay. Sidney Crosby wasn't really focused on defense. He was offensively heavy. It's not until he had injuries. Well, I think that's just also, too, though, as you mature as an NHL player. But, I mean, Sidney Crosby, I would still argue, was very good two-way. I think he's been good two-way for a long time. Hockey is zone coverage with transition. Ice soccer is the opposite. Yeah, I mean, soccer.
Okay, wait. So Canadian white trash guys. So you would say that then ice soccer would be slow, would be a slower game with heavier guys. Wouldn't you say that would be then the opposite of with quick transitions? It would just be a slower game. So like the Leafs would be the perfect epitome of that. But like that would also constitute you being slow. The game being slower would then constitute you also having heavier, slower guys. So a heavier style of play would be ice soccer then. I feel like if I'm getting it, if I'm not getting it, then I'll never understand it, what you ever say about it. But like, I guess that would what you would mean. You mean the opposite of quick transitions is just slow. It's just a slower, heavier game.
Yeah. Oh, we got another comment here. I got to get my mouse over here, and then I got to ask Adam a rapid fire question. I have a friend who's a big Canadian hockey fan. Says, in general, before Sidney Crosby came into the league, Canada helped him develop more two-way guys consistently. I think it's just the way hockey's changed now. All these players, these young guys, they don't want to be the Sasha Barkov. They want to be the Alexander Ovechkin, right? I think that's just what it is. But Adam, we have 3 games today. And rapid fire, give me the winners of each game.
Oh my God. So Carolina.
This is very slow rapid fire.
Sorry, Carolina, Dallas, Pittsburgh. No, Carolina, Dallas, Philly. I'm going Philly actually instead of Pittsburgh.
I
predicted Pittsburgh to win the series.
Ottawa, Minnesota, and Pittsburgh. So let's see who's right.
Jacob did the complete opposite of all of my picks.
Well,
he did that on purpose.
But I do want to thank everyone for joining us at the desk, where every day feels like game day. And as a reminder, game 2 of the Raptors simulation series will be posted within probably the next couple hours. So make sure you check that out. We will be back with post-game reaction of the day, probably around midnight. I'm guessing that's when all the hockey games will wrap up. So Adam, make sure you brew some coffee.
Oh man, Adam's gonna be tired.
Does Adam drink coffee?
Power through.
Does Adam drink
coffee?
No,
Adam does not drink coffee because drinking coffee will do the opposite to Adam. So
at least you're not like my one college buddy. Whenever he drank coffee, he just had to go to the bathroom. But thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. One final comment sneaking in. Bingo. That's why Matt Sundin had 14 shots a game. Canadians went nuts when the first
So Europeans are tough then. Europeans are tough then. They would have to be to play a slower, heavier game. They have to be tough. So you think that Europeans are tough then? Okay, there you go. That's
and on that bombshell. Thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk. We'll be back later with tons more coverage. If you haven't joined our bracket yet, please do. Can you still join it, Adam, after the first game of the playoffs has happened?
Nope. Once the games start, I don't think you can join anymore.
Okay. Well, you can't join it anymore because it's 3:02.
You might be able to. You never know.
You can try.
But I'm
if you guys want, send us your brackets over social media, and we'll react to your brackets live on the air. You got to make fun of me saying Pittsburgh's going to win the cup, and make fun of Dan that Ottawa's going to make it to the conference finals. So let's see how we do. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to Mr. Moore for your money, who was with us for the first 20 minutes, and Adam Alfrego. And of course, me, myself, and I, the Jacob Moore Sports Analyst. Until next time, thanks for watching the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. Bye.
It's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show. It's the Analyst Desk. Yeah, in case you didn't know, it's the Analyst Desk. Welcome to the show, where every day feels like game day, bro.
One final.